Hi, I'm Jackie from Essential Yoga. This is my last video for 2021. I hope you've been doing a lot of my videos this year. I hope the year's been not too bad for you. I know it's been a pretty stressful year for most people in the whole world. This video is great if you're a beginner. It's great if you're over 40. We're going to work on a little bit of stimulating the blood flow. We're going to work on posture. We're going to work on body awareness, balance. We're going to work on core strength, whole body strength, also a good stretch, flexibility, and also relaxation, putting our legs up at the end. So 30 minutes well spent, quality time. If you care about your body, put the time in and you will feel very good after. Centering into your body. Check your alignment of your feet. If you're familiar with my videos, you're familiar with good posture, working on that all the time in life. If this is your first video with me, then setting up good posture starts with the feet, equal weight through the feet, not one foot, doing something different, and both quite parallel. Kneecaps, hip bones, collarbones, shoulders pulling down, crown of the head pulling up, and find the right place for your head on top of your spine, your heavy head balanced in the most relaxed place so your neck muscles aren't straining, holding it in the wrong place. So your neck muscles are relaxed and just seeing how you feel right now in your body, in your energy, your mind, emotions, and accepting how you feel and allowing whatever's there to be there, and that will down-regulate any pain or tension. And the purpose of yoga is actually to clear the blockages, physical, mental, emotional, to get to the peace, the freedom, feeling as good as you can feel. So we're going to start by stimulating blood flow to the brain, the key to brain health really as we get older. So let's do this good old one. Bend the knees, arms come forward and then heels up, arms pull down and back. Inhale here, exhale here. So easier as you bend your knees a bit, make sure your knees don't pull in. And then you just lift your heels up. Don't let the ankles splay out. Inhale. Exhale. If your knees are more flexible and your ankles and hips, you can do the harder one where you go all the way down to a squat. And that is much harder. If you have osteoarthritis, then maybe don't go all the way down. You don't want to aggravate any pain. Try to keep the weight equal in the right and left. And this is really good for your walking gait because we're working on calf muscle flexibility and strength. So we're stretching the calf here and then contracting it. And it's also stimulating a lot of blood flow because calf muscle is like a second heart, like a pump. So when we stretch, it pulls blood flow towards the area. When you contract, it pushes the blood flow away. And one more for stimulating blood flow. For about 1 minute, you can either march on the spot, really swinging your arms to get your heart rate up, or you could jog, or you could run, or you could jump, or skip. And it's all quite cardiovascular. So whatever you feel like, whatever's right for your body, marching, running, jogging, sprinting, jumping. I think I'm just going to run. Try to keep that lift through your chest. Don't look down, look straight ahead. Get that head in the right place. Be as balanced as you can be from the feet up. So make sure you're not doing that or that. So lift that chest strengthening your heart, keeping blood moving through your over 100,000 kilometres of blood vessels in your body. And your brain needs 20% of your oxygen, but it's only 2% of your body weight. Let's do 10 more as fast as we can go. 10, 9, 8, 7. You can still be marching as fast as you can go. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, just feeling that. The next pose, we're going to practice balancing on one leg with our postural technique to open out our posture. So first we'll do elbows in back pockets with heel towards bottom. So a few of them, heel towards bottom, elbows in back pockets. Inhale, exhale. Keep looking straight ahead. So this is good for our posture, strengthening our back, all the muscles in the back of the body. And we're also working on balance. Keep going. If you're wobbly, all the more reason to keep working on your balance. It's very important. And if you're wobbly, your muscles are just working harder. Keep pulling, trying to literally put the elbows in back pockets. Don't jut out your lower front ribs. Squeeze your lower front ribs in. Push the tops of the shoulders down. Okay, now we're going to hold. I have my back to you for a moment. You might need a wall around. You might not need the wall like that. And then maybe you can grab, that's optional. Maybe just hold it with your strength. And maybe you can also arch. That's optional, that one too. Keep lengthening out the lower back. Squeeze your belly a bit. And the eyes steady. Final inhalation. Exhale. So do that. And maybe that's enough. Maybe you need the wall. Maybe you can grab. Maybe that's enough. Maybe you can arch into that one. Keep lengthening out of your lower spine. So working on balance and flexibility and preventing rounded posture at the same time. Final inhalation. Exhale, back to standing. If you know downward dog and it's okay for your shoulders and wrists, then hold downward dog. This is downward dog. If you don't want to do that pose, then go and find a wall or a window ledge and just lengthening out your spine like that instead of downward dog. So either doing that at the wall or come down to the floor. Try to lengthen out your spine. Reach the crown of the head and the tailbone in opposite directions. Strong arms pushing into the floor or the wall. External rotation, upper arm bones turning out in the socket. But mainly trying to relax into each position. If you're a beginner, if there's too many details, don't worry too much. Just try to make it feel good. Final breath in and out. Try to breathe in and out through your nose mostly. In yoga and life. We're going to do a little bit of strengthening around our hips and our spine, actually throughout our whole body. And then we're going to do a little bit of stretch and a little relax. So keep it up. We're going to strengthen into our inner thigh, outer thigh and waist. So we'll do one side at a time. So lie on one side. And if you have a shoulder injury, I'll give you another option. Otherwise, push one elbow down, lift your hips up, pause, and lower down. If you want to be harder, you can do straight legs. Straight legs is harder. So you exhale, you come up, pause, try to keep your head in alignment, not your head like that, and come down. Now, if that's a problem for your shoulder, so you can lift your hips up, your feet up, so you can lie on your side, and you're still working your waist muscles, and you're actually working your inner thigh muscles a bit more with this one as well. And you're also working your outer hip, thigh, your abductors. So a little bit of strengthening into our thighs and our waist, connected to the core. Let's do 2 more. It's quite hard, this one. If you're a beginner, you don't have to do as much as I'm doing. You might just do a little bit and then onto your other side and do the same. So you can either do this is easier with the knees bent. The straight legs is harder as another option. And then if the shoulder doesn't like it, you could do this one. Don't be rolled back though. Keep your top hip forward and your head back. So adjust that top hip forward, head back, because I see all my students compensating, so going into avoiding their weaknesses. So get that correct technique. It's pretty, I hope you can get to a Pilates or a yoga class. And so you've got a teacher that can correct you and check your alignment. So you don't just learn on YouTube. Get to a class if you can. If you have a weaker side, you should really actually do more on that, even though you actually want to do less. Let's do 2 more. I'm going to do plank now and on our elbows. So easier if you're not used to this. Make a fist, make your forearms parallel. Just keep your knees down and get somebody to check that you're not sagging, that you're not like that and you're not bottoms not up. So you've just got a straight line. But if you're a bit stronger, you do straight legs. And if you're really strong, you do dragging hands towards feet, feet towards hands, and that makes it much stronger. And squeeze your belly. Try not to have your head forward or arch. Just try to get your head in neutral. And you just hold to your own edge. So that might be 10 seconds, it might be 20, it might be 30. When you start over tensing or shaking a lot, that should be enough. You might repeat it, but today we're just doing a little bit of all-round strength. So that was chest muscles, arm muscles, belly muscles. Let's go to our back muscles now. So on your belly, and remember elbows in back pockets, squeeze your belly and do elbows in back pockets as well as lifting one leg up. Exhale and then come down, inhale. Squeeze your belly to help your lower back, alternating legs. If you're a bit more experienced, if you've got a very strong back from yoga or swimming or surfing, you can do both legs at the same time. But beginners, I would recommend just one leg at a time. Just keep it safe. It's a bit easier on your back. Keep squeezing in the shoulder blades, squeezing the belly, and also try to keep your neck in neutral. So usually what people do, they look forward too much, like that. So you want to just get head back, chin tuck, like that. Just mindful of your lower back, not over tensing. But that is, I think, with balance, along with balance, the most important one to work on. But it's good to work on whole strength. But preventing rounded spine, rounded posture, that's one of the best ones of all to work on regularly for the over 40s, for everyone really. So the next one, we're going to do belly muscles. So lie on your back. And then starting off, squeeze your belly and bring your knees in. You can have your hands beside you, or I quite like my hands behind my head. And you can do inhale, exhale. You're trying to lift your hips off the floor and then lower them back down. I've just got to undo my knot in this t-shirt because it's digging in. Okay, so if this is too hard, lifting your hips up without jerking, it is actually for a lot of beginners too hard, this one. So better give an easier one because this is the beginner's video. So the easier one is you're trying to just hold your feet up and lower them down a bit. The lifting the hips up off the floor, that's a bit stronger. So let's do inhale, lower your feet down a little bit, and exhale, bring your knees in, maybe add on, lift your hips up. So inhale, move your feet away from your head, just to your edge, maybe some of you a bit further, don't strain your back. And then exhale, bring your knees back in closer, maybe lift the hips off the floor. Now, if you have osteoporosis, don't lift your head up. Otherwise, if you lift your head up, it also works your upper abdominals a bit more. Makes it a little bit harder. So do a few more of these. The strengthening around our waist, our back, our front, our hips, a little bit our chest. Now we're going to do a little bit of stretching, a little bit of loosening up, and a little bit of relax to finish this little nice yoga practice today. This is windscreen wiper, which you'll be familiar with if you do watch my YouTube channel, because we do it a lot, or if you come to my yoga classes. But if it's the first time doing yoga with me, then have a look at it. It's so good. Oh my gosh, it's so good I'm 50, and I know the older I get, the more I like these kind of mobility exercises for the joints that get quite stiff. The older we get, the more we need these movements, this beautiful yoga to slow down aging. Okay, and the next one is just simply hugging your knees into your chest. But you might like to practice squatting as another option. But again, don't hurt your knees. And if you have prolapse or osteoarthritis, you might not squat. You might just keep hugging your knees in. Otherwise, you might practice squatting. Relaxing your lower back. We're going to stretch a little bit our abductors, and I'll give you two options. So if you're a little bit less flexible, it's easier on your knees to do this. See what I'm doing here? With my right leg up. You can do, doesn't matter which leg, but it's good at the wall too, like that. So you're stretching your outer hip. But also, if you're a bit more flexible, you might do pigeon, which is like this. Careful of your knee, make sure it's okay for you. As you hold the stretch, take some slower than normal breaths in and out through your nose. So try to breathe quietly, slowly, steadily, consciously, and diaphragmatically. So make sure your belly is relaxed so your diaphragm can move freely, so you can breathe in freely. So now, nice soft belly on the inhale. And a slightly deeper exhale, you gently contract your belly. That's the biomechanics of the breathing. And I do see a lot of yoga teachers and some really, really, really ones that have millions of followers on YouTube actually instructing incorrect information. Like going inhale into contract your belly, exhale, let go. That's okay, I think, with passive breathing. But with slow, meditative breathing, relaxed belly on the inhale. And at the end of the exhale, gently contract your belly. Final exhalation. Let's just one more exhalation on this stretch. and then swapping to your other leg. So you're either doing it the one at the wall. If you do have one knee that's a problem, then make sure you just do the same. If you have an injury, just do the same on both sides. Treat both sides like you have an injury. So breathing as quietly and slowly as you can. And steadily in and out through the nose. Relax shoulders and neck and face. This is very good for your lower back, this stretch. One more breath in and out. Okay, good. Just straighten out your legs, or downward dog if you know your yoga, that would fit in, or just straight legs. Spread your toes as wide as you can. Squeeze up the muscles above your knees. Okay, so the next one, if you're a little bit stiff in your hips and spine, this is Gait pose. I'll show you Gait pose. So it looks like this. If you're quite stiff, it might look like that. That might be your edge. If you're a bit more flexible, maybe a little bit more like that. And if you're very flexible, then this one might be okay for you if your hips and spine is a bit more flexible. So you can choose and just do what's right for you. So being good at yoga, people think it's about being a flexible person. It's not. It's like being good at life. It's not about whether you're rich or beautiful. It's about doing your best and enjoying your life. You're enjoying the yoga, and it's about connecting into yourself, enjoying your own, living in your own skin, trying to be happy and peaceful and make your body feel as good as it can feel. Make the most of what you've got. Now switch on your core to lift out and swapping. So some of you are doing this one. If you're a bit stiffer, that might be enough for your body. It's fine if you're a bit stiff. Maybe that. And some people are a bit more flexible in their bodies. I've taught kids yoga. Lots of people are naturally stiff even when they're a kid. So all of our spines are different. So we're accepting what we've got. We're making the most of what we have. Doing good things through our body. Stretching, strengthening. Breathing consciously is very, very good for our mind and also our whole body. Anything that's good for the brain, it's good for the mind, it's good for the whole body. So your brain, you think, is the brain and the mind different? Yeah, the brain is always in the head. The mind could be anywhere. But if you keep your mind present, that is quite good for your brain because there's more peace. Final exhalation. Okay. Very good. All fours, cat-cow or up dog, down dog. This is cat-cow for beginners. Exhale, squeeze the belly. Inhale, lengthen the belly. If you feel like a bit more, some of you could do up dog, down dog, which is like this. Inhale. Exhale. Do about 3 more. Improving blood flow to the brain again, also hydrating our discs, lubricating the spine. Okay, great. Next one is really good. Go and find a wall And you might use some pillows. I'm going to grab a yoga bolster here and do legs up the wall pose. You can use 2 or 3 pillows at home. Just a little bit of a gap between the wall and the pillows or bolster, and then roll into it, and we'll just hold this for a few minutes. This can be our relaxation today. Try to get the weight equal on the right and left side. Gently spread your toes to counteract always being squashed in shoes. Just have your palms facing up. Play around with the right position for the pillows or bolster. Try to get your head comfortable, your neck. And then trying to hold the pose, which is good for our heart, blood flow to the heart and the brain, cardiovascular system, because there can be a little bit of blockage as we get older in the valves, in the veins, which return the blood back to the heart. And so that's not good for our health. We don't want blockage or our lymph system, our sewage system. So aiding the return, unblocking, opening the valves, cardiovascular exercise, lots of walking, lots of moving, legs up the wall, healthy diet, trying to stay relaxed. If there's a lot of stress in your life, this is the last one for 2021. And I know it's been an incredibly stressful year for most people in the world, 2021. So we can't control, we don't have control over the stress in the world, but we have control over the choices we make. Yoga, meditation, focusing on steady breathing in and out through the nose, holding our attention, enjoying this moment. Feeling our body right now, feeling our body breathing in and out, feeling that diaphragm. Pause. Feel the diaphragm, inhaling, pushing against gently the weight of the abdominal organs. And notice how the exhalation is so easy, passive, the belly comes in. You don't need to contract now because it's naturally lifted, assisting the exhalation. The weight of the abdominal organs is assisting the exhalation here. Relax your face more. And it really helps to gently steady your eyeballs, closed eyes, steady, heavy eyeballs, looking inward and just feeling the inhale and the natural exhale out through the nose. And then notice the pause. That deep stillness. I love that spot. Go into it. Let the inhale come and the exhale and the pause. If you feel like you'd like to stay a little bit longer, then shift to Shavasana, which is the corpse pose. So just see what I'm doing here, and do that for a few more minutes, maybe 2, maybe 10, and just keep watching your breath. Otherwise, if you feel like that's enough, hug your knees in, roll to the side. Thank you so much. Subscribing is free. It's just like following on Facebook, but just helps me because I'm I want to get 1,000 subscribers. I've only got 755. And also it means you can find me easily as well, and I can help keep you on the right track to slowing down aging, keeping your body feeling as good as it can feel. And I hope that 2022 is as good as it can be for you. Stay healthy. Put the time in. Don't take your health for granted if you're over 40. Actually do some work on your health. Thank you.